Minnesota Vikings are in their house. What once upon a time looked like breeze at Wentz is Taysom Hill at Jalen Hurts. What a development in sunny Philadelphia. And that is literal, not figurative. Stacey Dales, take it away.
Rich, it's a beautiful day here. Jalen Hurts, as you alluded to, making his first start of his career. A couple of words that I have been told describe him: charisma, by a number of people I've talked to within the organization. Confidence. The confidence obviously comes with that charisma. It permeates a locker room, has the ability to permeate a locker room. And then the intangibles. He's smart. He's curious. Jason Kelce actually used these words. He's accountable. He asks all the right questions. As for what we might see from the rookie on the field today, yes, with those speedy legs, maybe some more design runs, but not necessarily an entirely new offense. Kelce said the last thing you want to do is give him stuff he's never done before. One thing we do know, he has the potential to be dynamic, and what a journey it's been.
Hurts hit and sacked from the blind side. Jalen Hurts was replaced at halftime.
Adversity comes along the way. It's all about handling it the right way.
Got a hard road ahead. Sometimes when you're a good teammate, the game finds you again.
All of it has made me a better man, a wiser man, better leader.
Spectacular! Jalen Hurts!
This kid is an athlete. He reminds me a lot of a Russell Wilson-type player.
Being able to use my athleticism in the pocket and get freaky in open field when I have to as well.
Excuse me, get freaky?
Get freaky.
I just wanna get a little freaky.
This ball was behind his back.
He's a one-man show!
An NFL team is getting a dog, a warrior, a leader.
The Philadelphia Eagles select
Jalen Hurts is in and stays in.
That's my message to him: be Jalen Hurts and do the things that he can do.
That motivation comes from within. I can guarantee you that I'll be hungrier than ever.
And that's how we kick off hour number 2 of NFL Game Day Morning, presented by Lowe's. We put the home in home team. Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Kurt Warner, and Michael Irvin. And, you know, the story of Jalen Hurts, some people might think that the minute that Tua came in and supplanted him as the starter in Alabama in that national championship game, that he left for Oklahoma on the spot. He did not.
Right.
He did not. Right. He was there for an entire year as a backup. He also got into the SEC championship game. And so he has been through a lot for a rookie quarterback. He has already been through a ton. And so...
And he knows what Wentz is going through right now.
Sure. Right. No doubt about it, as the face of a program that was supplanted for the new kid on the block. Did the Eagles make the right decision right here, Kurt Warner, Week 14, 2020, with Wentz having so much still left on his contract? You have the floor.
Yes, they did make the right decision, and I think this is twofold. First of all, you've got to get some questions answered. You know, we're going to sit back, and it's easy for us to look and say, well, they've had all kinds of issues up front, and they have some issues on the outside, and a lot of moving parts, and it's not all on Carson Wentz. I truly believe that, but we're not going to know the answer to that until we put someone else in. Let's see today what this offense looks like with Jalen Hurts. I also believe that you needed to take Carson Wentz out of that situation.
Yeah.
He was pressing, he was pushing, he was hearing all the noise, he was trying to do too much with the issues he had around him, and it was going the wrong direction. And then from the third standpoint, we've already talked about it. The NFC East is still fully up for grabs. They still have an opportunity to salvage this and possibly win the division. So you've got to make a move, Irv, that says, hey, we're not going to just stand pat with all the issues we've had. We got to try something to see if we can steal this division and maybe make a run in the playoffs.
And there's something going on here. I do believe there's something going on with head coach and quarterback where maybe a sit down or a step away will help. I always say, guys, when we get here, I say, I don't ever mess with the quarterback, never mess with the head coach. But the worst thing that can happen are these two guys having some kind of issue. And the way this is played out, I do believe that there's something going on. So sitting down, giving him a break, I think is a good thing. Now, that, like I talked about earlier, that brings about an opportunity for Jalen Hurts right here. You know, nobody really thought when he got drafted that he was going to be in this position, given this opportunity with all they've gotten invested in the Carson Wentz. So this is going to be interesting to watch, man. And if Jalen Hurts can just play well, they don't have to win the game. Just play well and not turn the ball over. It's going to be something.
Well, let's go back. What do you mean? Why do you think there is something between? And this is a head coach that went to bat week in, and week out
13
for
weeks.
Carson Wentz, and now all of a sudden you think there's some kind of
because of the processing by which he came. Remember, he came out and said, "No, Carson Wentz, our starter." Well, I don't know what we're going to do now. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to start. I got to think about that. And the way that went about, I have to believe that he's been talking to Carson Wentz and trying to pull him back on some things and trying to help him manage certain things and not getting the response he wants out of the quarterback. That's why he went and made this move. And, you know, Carson Wentz not happy with this move. First of all, no. you put the backup goes in and win a Super Bowl, and then he comes back as he's trying to get over that. You draft this guy in the second, you draft him with the high draft pick. He's already saying, how much do you guys really believe in me? I'm trying to fight this thing off, and now I got to deal with this thing. That's a serious situation. You can't tell me there's not something going on between.
Well, they drafted him because, you know, Nick Foles is not there anymore. They did need another guy in that pitching staff, but I think we're all...
They could have got him in the 4th or 5th round, Coach. They could have got him. Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is tearing it up right now.
I don't think they could have got Jalen 4th or 5th round, right? I mean, he was a pretty...
Well, they could have gotten another quarterback later on.
Well, they got a good guy. We all are anxious to see this guy play because
hence the whole thing.
He's
Why
a
you
great
go get a good guy if you got me? That's what that's what we're saying. Here's the whole thing. Why do you go get that guy if you got me? That's what we're saying here. That's why I'm saying there has to be a riff here.
Yeah. So I'm curious though to when a rookie starts, okay? Because, yeah, it's time. They're still in the running for the playoff race. But there's no bye week. There's no, you know, where you're going to get extra reps. This is a tough barometer right now to judge Jalen Hurts' debut. The Saints defense is really good, people. #1 defense in the league. They will sack you. They will pressure you. They will take the ball away from you. So this is going to be a tough start for Jalen Hurts. Not to mention playing against the Saints offense who runs the football and 200 yards a game since Taysom Hill's been around. You're not going to get but 8 possessions anyway and probably be playing from behind. So he's going to need more than this game. He's going to need some time so we can evaluate him and the Eagles can evaluate him. We're anxious to see him play. Carson Wentz is the scout team quarterback playing Taysom Hill. You never played scout team quarterback for a dual threat quarterback, did you?
Not for a dual threat quarterback.
Run a little option.
That's hard.
This is going to be interesting to watch.
And here lies a coach that's top-ranked defense. He plays well.
I thought you were Houdini.
He does anything against this top-ranked defense. Those people, this is Philadelphia. Let's remember that now. This is Philadelphia. The Philadelphia fans, the Eagles fans. Oh my God! If he does anything against the top-ranked defense,
it's not Jalen Hurts' first roll around in the obviously in the NFL. Hey, but he has played against some tough competition.
Right.
Again, not the NFL, but Daniel Jeremiah joining us right now. Your evaluation of Hurts going in and how that might help us evaluate what might happen today. Daniel, what do you have for us?
Yeah, look, Richard, you go back and watch him at Alabama and then watch him as he moved on to Oklahoma. One thing he's always had, he's always been very competitive and he's always been a playmaker. He's always made things happen, even if it wasn't always on script. I thought when he got to Oklahoma, you saw some improvement. He improved with his touch. That wasn't a strength of his at Alabama. He improved with his decision-making there as well. So big strides taken. Now, the challenge is when you go and look at what this Eagles group has, we look at the tape from last week, when Hurts got into the game, there's going to be some of these issues he's going to have to navigate around. You see Jalen Reagor, their first-round pick on the bottom. They're only going to send 4 here. They've got 6-man protection with the back here. This should be picked up. You should have all kinds of time. It doesn't get picked up. Miles Sanders doesn't see where the rusher comes from, but Hurts does a nice job. Just get it up, find the one-on-one, get it up and out, and drop it over the shoulder in the bucket there to Jalen Reagor. So he's going to have to navigate around some protection issues. And then there's going to be times like Carson Wentz has dealt with all year long where there's going to be nothing down the field. You see, he gets to the top of his drop. There's nowhere to go with this football. So this is what Jalen Hurts can bring. He's quick to then, okay, let's just pull the trigger. Let's get out of here. I'm going to be in space one-on-one with the safety, make him miss. The next thing you know, I've got myself a first down. So some of those things he's going to face a lot more of them against the Saints today. My advice would be, much like Kurt when he got up this morning with his wardrobe, keep it basic. Don't try and get outside yourself. Just keep it right in the middle of the fairway.
Thank you, Daniel. I think Kurt thought about that, too. Definitely thought about that, too.
Definitely thought about it.
Keep it basic.
Keep it like
show, Daniel.
Basic like checking or savings, right? Don't let them give you a hard time about your shirt. You look great, Pastor Kurt from Randlow.
You too, Kurt.
Kurt's like, again? We're doing this again. Like the basic color from a wow, toner color is basically what Thomas Frisbee is saying. There's a hashtag basic Kurt.
Oh, my goodness. What a difference a week makes, huh? What a difference a week makes.
I like it, though.
Holy cow.
Kurt, I like it.
I love you, people. Thanks for watching. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I'll keep working on it.
That suit is clean, and it just doesn't look good on you. It looks good, is what we're saying. Really. It's just different than what you were doing the last 2 weeks, is all we're pointing out.
Y'all funny, man.
Right.
You guys are crazy.
Getting ready, getting used to the loud look.
Y'all the best in the world.
The Steelers need a win to make the playoffs this week with some help. But they need a win to avoid their first losing streak of the season. That's how crazy things are in the NFL. You win 11 in a row, and now it's like, can they win to avoid a losing streak? Because the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, the way Allen looked last week against San Francisco, he looked like an MVP in full control of an offense, knew exactly what to do. Kim Jones is in Western New York already for the big Sunday Nighter on NBC.
Thanks, Rich. Well, as we know, the Steelers lead the league in dropped passes with 32 on the season. They had 7 alone in their loss to Washington. Mike Tomlin said his wide receivers have to catch the ball or he'll find ones that do. But this week, Ben Roethlisberger took some responsibility, saying he can help out his teammates by throwing more catchable balls. Well, as we know, the Steelers suffered their rare loss this season to Washington. When that happens, we set it to music.
The Steelers, of course, 11-0. Washington 4-7.
It's one of them games, whatever it takes.
Throws it to the left side of the end zone. Touchdown. Steelers draw first blood. Washington trying to threaten here. And Barber into the end zone. The Steelers have only scored 3 points this whole second half. Had it into the air and intercepted. Oh, my God! Not a good ending for the Pittsburgh